Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you some face masks that I have been making for the past couple of weeks. I've been trying to make them, I should say. It's been a long process with the kids, don't really let me do anything, and right now they're going crazy with blocks, so if you hear a bunch of noise, that's just them. But I really have to get them finished today because tomorrow and this coming Friday, all three of the children have doctor's appointments, and right now with what's going on, face masks are mandatory at all times while in the building. But I had an issue. For one, the regular face masks, like, yes, I do have surgical masks and I do have antiviral masks at home for myself. I've used these like anytime I'm taking care of someone who's sick, and I've used these whenever I change out the chicken coop because I'm very sensitive to dust and pollen outdoors. So these I've always had. I've had these for years, so don't get mad at me for having these things right now with what's going on. And then I had one little one. So yes, this does fit on Eva, but they still have gaps. And especially these on the boys, they have gaps. They really don't like them on. They don't like things behind their ears for long. So how was I going to make my autistic sons keep face masks on while at the doctor's? And these are appointments that we really couldn't push back any longer. Hito really needs to see the GI doctor, and both Carmelo and Eva were born like 2 weeks apart, and they are overdue for their well visits. I like to keep their well visits close to their birthdays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the basic design that I found out was best for us, also easier for me to sew. I've sewn for a long time, but I haven't really done any sewing or projects in years, but I've known how to sew since I was like 10. And also my sewing machine is over 30 years old, so it doesn't perform the best. It gives me a lot of issues. It's very finicky, but I know how to use it, but it doesn't always like to do what I need it to do. So that's also why I don't sew that much, but I wanted to get these done, and there's only one more mask that I need to do, so I'm going to show you how I sewed that, and it's the basic design for. So I'm going to show you the basic design that I use for all of the masks except for one. There's one mask that's a lot different from the rest of them, but I found one design that I used, and I used different materials, and so I'm gonna show you that. This is the basic design of how I did all of the masks except the one, and it's where you can put a string or elastic or any other kind of material through these sides, and then you can cinch it, cover it like that. It has a metal piece for the nose. And so some of these I did with one layer because the kids' ability to breathe, I needed to make it comfortable on them or else they may not wear them. Something's better than nothing, right? Other ones I did 2 layers and I made a pocket. And I also did ones where I used an interface and I made a pocket, so it's essentially one layer of cotton and then the interface is sewn in there and it makes a pocket, so I could put a filter in there. And the one layer with an interface pocket is the one I'm going to show you today how I made that. And this is going to be another one for the boys, so it's the blue. They're very particular, like boy colors and girl colors, my kids, all of themselves. So I got the interface and the fabric. So what fabric did I use? I am big on using things that you already have around the house, especially when it comes to projects like this, last minute things. I can't go out and buy anything anyway. So thankfully I did have a lot of receiving blankets left over. I just couldn't part with them, certain receiving blankets. So this is 100% cotton receiving blankets. I had some girl ones too. So I also had some like baby blankets that were maybe ripped, or ones I just wanted to keep around because I like the material and I didn't know if I was ever going to make anything out of it, like a stuffed animal in the future, so that they'd have something from their childhood. But this was one that was just kind of wrecked anyway, so it's a minky baby blanket, and I figure also with the soft minky feel, that'd be another sensory thing. It'd be more appealing for the kids to wear. And actually, I made one out of this for the boys, and it is Hiddo's favorite. So like I said, I'm gonna show you how I sew the basic mask, and then we'll try them on all of the kids, and then I'll show you also all of the different fastening materials that I use. So like rope, elastics, all of that, and how we go about putting them on the children and myself. As I've made these, I have tried them on the children, so I know which ones work and which ones don't, and I'll talk about that. And I'll show you some of the materials that really didn't work, and which ones I think are their favorites, which ones I hope that they will wear this week. Because yeah, like hour-long doctor's appointments when I could barely keep anything on them for more than a minute if they don't like it. Gonna be interesting. But let's make a mask. Okay, let's plug this in. I have to keep it unplugged because I don't need the kids coming over and stepping on the pedal. And you like how my workspace is my kitchen countertop? This is like the only place I can do anything. So we have the receiving blanket and the inner face with the soft side out. So this is the side that is going to be on your nose. And you just square that up. I do not sew these two pieces together. I just sew them together as I fold the sides in. And then this end is already serged, so that's good. So it's already serged for me. So that's gonna be the bottom, because that's the part where I'm not gonna fold over or anything. If you don't like raw edges, then by all means finish that off, but that takes too long for me. The first thing I'm gonna do is fold over the top about an inch. About 2 inches in on either side, I'm going to just sew along the bottoms right here. And one thing that I found with sewing all of these different materials was that if there were lines, horizontal lines, it was so much easier to cut and sew it, because I just make sure that I'm level based on the lines on the fabric. So we're gonna sew from the edge to the mark. And then on the other side as well. Just make sure, since I don't have the two layers sewn together, just make sure that they're still both folded up there. So from an inch to the last sewn part, I'm gonna leave a gap on either side about an inch, and I'm gonna sew the middle. There's 2 inches in, an inch gap, sew it, an inch gap, and another 2 inches sewn on that side. Now we take the sides and fold it over to that mark. And this is where your rope or other elastics or anything are going to go. So just sew that all the way down. That makes a little pocket so you can put your attaching material into that. And I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so that's it. Basically, I just sewed the 3 sides all the way down. I've got 2 pockets here. I've got a large pocket that you can put a filter in. I'm just gonna clean this up by trimming all of this and trimming the excess of the inner face. And then I'll show you what we put into the nose piece. Okay, I got it all cleaned up. So we are going to take a pipe cleaner, fold it in half. put it against this, see how long it is from one edge to the other. Clip this off. Just like that. I twist the ends together just to make sure it doesn't poke out through the material. Put in one end. And there you have wire for the nose. Okay, so yeah, this angle. Don't mind the mess. I haven't put away dishes from last night yet. So now that I have the mask basically done, we need to have something to fasten it to the face, right? And so I sewed the sides without putting something in. So like, how do you get a flimsy rope or something in there? So things like hard bungee cords, that's the easy stuff because that you could just push through. It goes in no problem. This, what I like to do is knot one end, take a safety pin, put it in the knot, and then, so we want this, if we're doing it one piece, we want it to go around the neck. So the bottom part has to be where the loop is. So I go in from the top on one side, and then knot in there is the hardest part. Because on the kids mask, I kind of sew the sides a little smaller than on the adult mask. You just push, pull, and then it comes out the other side. And then you go back in from the bottom on the other side. So what are the dimensions that I cut for the mask? For like Hiddo and Carmelo and Eva. Hiddo and Carmelo are 9 and 7, but they're small.
I'm big boy.
You are a big boy. You are a big boy, sir. I know. Sorry. I didn't mean anything by that. It wasn't an insult. So for Hiddo and Carmelo, I did 9 inches by 7 inches. So the 7 inches is going to be the side right here, 9 inches across. So however you cut your fabric, if it has a pattern, make sure it's going in the right direction. For Eva, I did 8 by 7. So they're the same, but the length is different because Eva has a smaller face and she's 4. For mine, I did 10 by 8, which was kind of the standard when I looked up these patterns, but Matt needed something a little bigger, so his is 12 by 8, and his fully covers from his nose down here and way like a few inches from his ear. So those are the lengths that I did. And then for the ropes, I make them a little longer than I know I'm gonna need, and then I cut depending on how I'm going to fasten them, because for things like rope, you can take it and you can tie it, so you're gonna need a little extra length. So I found these spring clasps that you usually use on bungee cords, like backpacks, things like that. That one has just 1 hole, that one has 2 holes. So either one of these you can use. I'll do the one with 1 and show you. You just put that together, open it up, and pull the rope through. So, especially with kids, now I don't have to worry about tying it behind their heads. So I'm so glad I was able to find these, because that I think is going to make this a lot easier. Okay, so let's see if the kids will cooperate and if I can get them to try on masks right now. Hello, Hiddo. How are you?
Doing good. Is that it was so cool. It was like also a mask. And
Yeah.
I love this one.
Yes. So like I said, he loves the minky one. This one I did only 1 layer without a pocket. This rope, was just inside of the edging of a baby blanket. So it was unraveling, so I just took out the rope that was inside of that. So what we do is we take it facing out, slip it over the head. And we take this, we pull on the ends, so it goes under the chin, over the nose, pull it around, and tighten it up. So some fitting ideas is that to pull it higher up on the neck, cinch the sides a little more, and then any additional slack, form the nose, and there you go. It's a little gap here, but there's like no gap around his chin. It's a little tighter there. But you know what? It's gonna do in a pinch. So it's over his ears. Turn to baby. Turn to the side. Turn to the side. So it's over his ears, and this is higher up on the back of his head. So it sits right up here. Ow! It's fine. It's not tight. He's very sensitive with things around his neck. But yeah, when you look down, it does get a little tighter. So he doesn't like that. I can loosen up. It's fine. Are you gonna keep this on at the doctor's? Mm-hmm. You have to keep it on at the doctor's, right? Mm-hmm. But there's no gaps on the sides. There's no gap at the nose. So this one he likes the best. So I think this is the one I'm gonna bring for him. Huh?
Yeah.
Yep. And then take it off. You just do the same. Slide it. And pull it over the head. And that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, want to show this one?
How?
So since they liked this material the best, I used all that I had on theirs. So this is the one that I just sewed with the pocket.
Keep this thing.
You're gonna keep that one? Okay. Let's try this one too. So this one I just sewed. Stop. Calm down. Like putting any kind of mask on them, especially new ones, they freak out a little bit. And then this one, it's okay. Calm down, baby. Okay? Thank you. So the same thing, this one I could put a filter in it if I wanted.
It's like filled with air.
Yeah. I'll go grab Carmelo and show you the one that he liked the best. Hi, Carmelo.
Hi.
Hello. She has to get food again. Now let's see if I can get this up a little bit. So these I got from the Garden Tower project.
What?
They are making these right now. Some people are 3D printing these, so these are just a frame. So this is where your nose goes, and you can either put material just in it and then put it on your face and fasten it around, or you can glue it on. So that's what I did. I hot glued some blue shop towels onto that so there's no gaps, and then I put a rope on. So let's see. This is the one that Carmelo liked the most. Carmi. You're so funny.
Yes.
Achoo, bless you. So same thing, just goes over the head. So I use the same design and how to fasten it to their heads.
That was an evil one to
Over the ears if I can find them. So I figured he'd like this the most because it doesn't touch. He doesn't really like anything touching around this area. So this, other than the frame, nothing else is touching. Nothing's touching his mouth or his nose. So that's why I made it a little poofy. It looks silly, but it's gonna keep a mask on him. The only problem I have with him is how much hair he has that it's kind of sliding. So I'll stay on his ears. The only other option is to like put his hair in a ponytail or shave his head before we go to the doctor. Let's see, with a ponytail, how much better it stays. I know. The only problem with this one is I think he's going to probably rip this thing. So I'm gonna have to bring a backup with us. So I'm pretty sure if he gets mad, he's just gonna rip it and rip the paper towel off or something. So yeah, if I do that with a ponytail, it'll stay on a little better and it won't slip around in the back. No ponytail. Yeah. I think it's just time for him to get a haircut, so that may be something we do before his doctor appointment. Thank you, Boo. You're all done. Eva, your turn.
Hi.
Okay, so hi. Can you pay attention for a second?
You're gonna make me fall.
I'm not gonna make you fall. I'm holding you.
Stop holding me.
For Eva, I made 3 different masks, and this is where I'll get more into the different fastening materials that we use. So of course I have one that's with the rope from the edge of the baby blanket again, but I also tried, because these fasteners came with bungee cord, I tried one with a bungee cord, and I tried one with elastic. So let's do these, and again I made it so that none of these touch the ears. So the one with the bungee cord, I thought it would be a good idea. Same thing over the head. Cinch it, but it doesn't stay in place. It slides around, and I tried it on myself, and it doesn't feel the best on the back of your neck. Right here it's fine. You like that? You don't like that one? Okay. And it sticks up like, and it sticks up like antennas with the extra. So that's why I also made all of these in a way where you could change out the fastening material. So elastic, rope, whatever you want to use. It's easy, big enough to slide anything that you need in and out of it and change it up. So this was the first one that I did, and you can tell because it was a prototype. I used like green thread, if you can see that all around.
I'm the same as you.
It was very rough. This one is a 2-layer with a pocket.
I have a baby.
You can't breathe?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one is a 2-layer, and that's why also I made all of these a 1-layer. I'm not going to make it hard for my kids to breathe. I know it's more effective if there's 2 layers, but my kids have enough issues that I'm not going to make it hard for them to breathe as well, because that's just going to be a disaster all around. You're silly. And this is Eva's favorite because it's made out of a minky material and it has butterflies, but it's the same design, 1 layer, so no pockets. But I put 2 elastic pieces, longer elastic pieces on there, and I'll show you why. Crisscrossed in the back, so I put cam snaps on this. If you don't have cam snaps, they come in handy for so many things. So cam snaps on there, and if you don't want to look at those, you can pull the elastic and just tuck it into the pocket on the side.
Look, Mom.
So there, now you won't even see it, it's in there. Just put it toward the middle so when you cinch it up, it won't be seen, and you really can't feel it when it's in there. I've tried it on myself. Okay, so why did I do...
Where did it go? Mom, where did the stuff go?
I think it's behind your back.
No, we got there.
And there it is. Okay, so...
Mom, something's behind my back.
What is it?
It's this.
It's the frame. So, this is gonna go... You guys like to dramatize so much. Okay,
it's
stop.
going around my neck.
Okay, hold it right there.
Okay.
Okay, turn to the side. So Eva likes to wear high pigtails. I'm gonna use this to my advantage. So I take 1 elastic, goes up there.
Goes up there?
Yeah, I take the other elastic, and it goes over her other ponytail. And then I pull it where they meet up. You wanna turn around, Mamu? Yep. Not too tight, no gaps. Yeah, I know you guys love that thing. Turn, baby. I got you. Okay, so look, it doesn't touch her ear on either side. And the back, turn again. It's over her pigtail, so that's what's holding it up. And then it's crossed right there. And she has already taken this one from me and worn it for like 30 minutes at a time. She was jumping around playing in it, so I know that won't be an issue. I just have to get them to stop pulling it down like that. But yeah, so those are the kids' masks, and this is what we're going to use. This one's Eva's. Hiddo's, like I said, was that other minky one, and Carmelo's is the, yes, silly looking frame one, but it's what's going to work for them. And I had to find something that's going to work for them, that they'll keep on, that we, you know, I won't have anyone yelling at me for breaking rules or anything like that, because, you know, it just takes a little bit more for my children to be able to cooperate. They just don't understand. They don't understand what's going on. I've done the social stories, everything else. So it's just, I had to figure out something that hopefully they like. No, it's not the most...
Mom, I don't like that one.
Yeah, I know. I know that they're not the most effective ones, but if they have to have a face covering, I had to make something that fit their needs. So this is what I came up with. Now on to mine. If you want to see those, stick around for a couple of minutes. This is clothesline. And the good thing about clothesline is that you can melt the ends. So same thing, I put it through this. I put it through a clasp. You're gonna leave now? Okay. Okay, so she's doing stuff over there. So, same thing, same design. This one I did the one layer with a pocket because it is hard for me to breathe with the 2 layers also, and I wanted to see how this felt by putting this liner in there. And it felt fine, so that's why I made the kids. So yes, again, anything that I put on the kids, do with the kids, I try it myself to make sure that I use it on my children because, you know, I want it to be comfortable for them. So, same thing. Put it higher up on your neck. Pull it.
Wow! Cool! Wow!
And once you cinch it, a lot of this bagginess goes away on the bottom. You just pull it a little more.
It's pretty cold in here. Mom, it's pretty cold in here.
Yes, it is. She's in the freezer now. Okay, so if you can hear me talk with this on, it's my bun is holding this up. So we found that this material, even though it does slide well on the fabric and everything else, it's just a little too slick, and it slides on my neck too. And if I pull it any tighter, then it's too tight around here. So this wasn't our favorite to use. Now I just have yards and yards of clothesline now. But if you really wanted to use it, it's not bad to use. It doesn't like irritate your skin at all. And the very last one that I had to show you, because I did make one for Matt, but he has it at work, is a 2-layer pocket one. So if I ever want to add a filter, the thing about the 2 layers with a pocket is that the 2 layers, like I said, are just too hard to breathe through. So I'm like, I would wear this one, but I wouldn't keep it on very long. So it has 2 long elastics. This is where I use my bun as an anchor. So put it on. Put one side on there, other side around there. Cinch up the sides. And this one I have to kind of tuck under so that it doesn't have a gap at all. Yeah, so there's no gaps on the sides. There's no gaps up there, but like I said, this is a 2-layer, so I'm like, I don't really like it that much. I think I'm gonna put this elastic in this other one if I ever have to use it, but I do have all of the antiviral masks. So how would I compare? If you can even hear me through this, I don't know how people are talking while they're out and about while wearing a mask. Let me take this off. How do the cloth masks compare to my surgical mask and my antiviral mask? This one is actually easier to breathe through. This is an antiviral mask than 2 layers of cotton. I want to compare actually breathing through. And for a regular surgical mask, I want to say that it's like breathing through the 1 layer with the interface lining. And I know that this video has gone on long enough, so the very last one I'm going to show you is the single layer with the interface pocket with a blue paper towel as a filter, and we'll see how that is, because I haven't even tried this one yet. See how this one is to breathe through. I have to say that one, this isn't, and actually I could talk a little better in this one too. This one kind of feels like wearing the antiviral mask, and it's not hard to talk through. It doesn't really feel hot at all. So I think this would be my go-to style, but with either the elastics for around my bun, or more like a thinner rope. So the thinner the rope, I think, works a lot better in terms of it doesn't slip and slide around. It stays in place, but it still cinches just fine on the sides. It's not heavy, so it won't fall down if you don't have something to keep it up on the back of your head. I know some people say like to put it higher on your head, and then it won't slide around either, but for me it just slides right down. So I don't know how you would do that if you didn't have something in your hair to keep it in place on a thicker material. The thin materials stay in place, but the thicker materials tend to slide around. Or you can, of course, always do, which we didn't because nothing around the ears for my kids. You can make just these into regular ear loops, and so they would just go like that. Those were all of the masks. I hope some people got some ideas of how to go about making masks for their own children, especially children with autism. This is what's working for us. And yeah, rambling way too much during this video. I'm sorry, because the kids are crazy and all over the place and very loud. So I hope you can hear me over all of the yelling. Yay, I'm so glad to finally have these done. This is taking way too long. I don't know how people are producing these en masse, like hundreds a day. More power to you. But it took me a long time too, because I was experimenting with sizes and what was going to fit. And so yeah, things like this. The other reason why I did elastics with the cam snaps instead of just sewing them is because I had to experiment with the sizes of what we needed in order to fit all of our different faces. But it's still, like I said, also all of these are interchangeable. I could take this out and put a different fastening on here if I needed to, but yeah. That was me and my journey of how to get my autistic children to keep some masks on. Until next time, guys. Bye.